You want to have the gloves because you'll constantly be doing it, but we're not going to...
We're doing a workshop. We're making Batman paperweights, but the two-time special guest star is Lady
paperweight.
And it's a paperweight. And
Yeah,
the class is about to start, so I have to shut up because I'm in a library and a teacher's here.
Yeah, Batman paperweight. They were 3D printed here in the studio at 3 millimeters. Actually 2 millimeters. We didn't want to go 3 because the striation would be too heavy. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this. It's Bondo glazing putty. It sounds like it would be tough to use. It's not Bondo. Bondo's a 2-part mixed chemical. It's awful. It's kind of noxious. You can't use it indoors. It's not the safest thing. But the glazing putty, in and of itself, it's self-contained. You just put it on and it dries really quickly as long as it's in thin layers. It's sandable, it's paintable, and it's really, really good for getting rid of striation lines or imperfections on anything you're working on. So I'm going to show you guys how you can use this and sandpaper to smooth out your designs that have been 3D printed to make them as smooth or as textured as you want them to be. So that's what we'll be learning about. It's more so just a way to show you guys.
It's like pizza butter.
Slide up. And when you're not using it, put the cap back on because it will dry out very, very quickly. This stuff is made to air dry, and it does so, like I said, between 5 and 8 minutes. It's spicier than ketchup.
I know.
Okay, so everybody go ahead and look at your 3D printed paperweight. It is clearly Batman inspired. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take this and we're going to use the sandpaper to lightly scuff the surface of it. The best way to do so will not be to hold the Batarang and rub it, but to actually place the Batarang face down on the sandpaper. And just move it in a circular motion. Don't put too much pressure, just enough, like I said, to scuff up the front of it. The circular motion will help to avoid getting specific directional lines. That's a beautiful sound. Every so often, just to make sure and check. We're not going to have to do this a whole lot. Like I said, this is just to dirty up the surface a bit and get something to stick to it. You won't feel as many rigid lines, so that's all you.
That's all I did.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. You just need to get a little bit of a scuff on it.
I broke my glove. Me too.
Typically with something, if you're going to repaint it, you want to sand it up a little bit so that it has something to stick to.
Yep.
So that's why we're just lightly sanding and not trying to get a smooth touch finish.
Yeah, the smooth touch finish will come from this.
Perfect.
And the paint sticks to that stuff amazingly.
Because that's what it's made for, because it's a Bondo product.
Yep.
Yes.
So if everybody's ready with that phase, we're going to move on to going ahead and applying some of the Bondo spot putty.
Ooh.
Go for it.
So we're going to start off with just a very small dab. I want you guys just to use about a pea-sized, a dab. There you go. About a pea-sized drop, and just apply it directly to the center of the paperweight. Just as you put it on, rub it around until it's as smooth as you can make it, and try to feather it out as far as you can. And clean it out of later. The stuff as it dries, it won't dry completely solid for about 12 to 15 hours.
Then I use my fingers.
Yep.
Smooth it.
Yep. Just rub it into there, and then, like I said, feather it out as much as possible.
This is crazy with gloves on.
If anybody wants to do that now.
Typically I do everything with
We just have
gloves
a paper
on so that I can touch and get more tactile feel, but I'm following
Yeah, just hand out paper
directions
clips to everybody.
Yeah.
I trust you with a sharp object every day, and that's your wit, sir.
Aww.
They will dry quickly. And like I said, you'll see it go from that dark red color to a very, very pale color.
It's easier to get it out and dry it.
You're going to be better off if you, as it's flattening itself out.
Mine is currently being used as the model of what to do. This makes me very happy. Thank you, teacher.
What? How's everybody doing?
What are you looking for?
Before and after.
I don't know how many we have left. Not a lot that you can make. Which is fine. What do you mean? Why would you need a new one? That's perfectly good sandpaper, sir. It looks weird. No, it's good. It's fine.
It is the night. It is the night. It looks good. I'm not done with it. No, but it's a good place to be.
what, the night?
Depending on how much work you want to do. Like for these ones, I wanted people to learn how to use the material to fill them. So instead of printing them at a 3mm or a 1mm, we printed them at 2, which is a medium. I would say if you want to make something like this, you want to print it at a 1mm. It's more high definition, you'll have less work to do in the end of it, but for this case, we wanted people to see how it's done. And then paint very soon after you finish your initial sanding and layering. And just take your time when it comes to adding your glazing putty, because you want to make sure that each layer dries completely before starting to sand, otherwise you're going to pull old material out of it. And then just clean up all your edges, make sure your lines are kept. So with this one we also have the body line going through. It's a fine detail line going throughout, and it was basically just being aware of that and keeping it clean throughout the process.
Awesome. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
So, give me 4 tips for making these.
4 tips?
Yeah.
Hire somebody.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now you're a real educator.
That's what I was gonna do.